What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda, which will double up as a bit of a preview as well for the game against West Ham. Tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. kickoff. We will be live, of course, from about 3:54 p.m. tomorrow for the preview ahead of the game. Well, the build up to the game and the watch along and lots of other stuff as well. I'm going to go through my predicted 11 in a couple of minutes, folks. I'll go through my score predictions as well. But look, let's start with the surprise result of the day. Did not see Burnley getting any points there at Stamford Bridge, but fair play. And of course, Manchester United got beaten by Man City, but look, that's no surprise. We knew that was going to come. Look, before I get cracking tonight, as always, proud to say tonight's show is being brought to you with thanks to our friends at manscaped.com. The Christmas season really is sneaking up on us, folks, and the men's leading hygiene brand are back again with a couple of new products. They've got a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. They've got a brand new body wash as well, infused with aloe vera and sea salt, as well as the Performance Package 4.0, the landscape or the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, and all the other bits and bobs that you get with it. The good news is you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using our discount code WFM20. And the even better news is, if it's already on sale on the site, the good news is you can still use our discount code as well to get even more bargains ahead of the festive period. So look, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to you guys. I've loads to get through tonight. We'll talk about the preview again. Get to that in a second. I've got the images ready to go for that one. We'll talk about Chelsea. We'll talk about Manchester United. We'll talk about whatever the hell you guys want to, because it's Saturday. Yes, it's Saturday, the weekend's here, and look, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. It's going to be a difficult one, but we know if we can get to 3 points at the City of London Stadium, that we're 1 point, just 1 point. Craig, did you see James Redmond on Lad Bible debating the deluded United fan? Of course I seen him. I put him in the gig. Do you know what I mean? I look after my team. I look after the team. Of course I knew about it. I put James in the gig, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? But there you go. Look, I knew he'd knock it out of the ballpark. I've seen clips from it. The lads at Lab Bible sent me a few clips before before it aired, but I haven't had a chance to watch it all yet. But I will, of course. And look, no surprise that James knocked it out of the park. He knows what he's doing. He's good at this. It'll close the gap, said Tyra. Absolutely it will. What do we want to do? Do we want to go straight into the preview? And then we'll talk about Manchester City, we'll talk about United, we'll talk about Chelsea, and we'll have a little laugh. That's what we go that way. We do it that way, folks, tonight. Why not? Look, let's jump over to the preview. I'm going to go through my start 11 score prediction, team news as well. And again, just for those coming a little bit late, don't forget manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping at whatever you want. Manscaped.com using our discount code WFM20. First, before we go across, there's a super chat from Victor. How are you, Victor? He said, "Hey Craig, hope you're doing well. Surely Ollie gets sacked. It's a disgrace. United are still keeping Ollie. Men against boys. City, Liverpool, Chelsea are title challengers." I will be entirely honest, Victor. It was a 12:30 kickoff. I was sound asleep. I've since seen the highlights when I got up. I will watch the game back in its entirety, but those who I've spoken to that watched it said that it could have been 4, 5, 6, 7 if it wasn't for David De Gea and some of his saves. So look, no surprise. I didn't expect to wake up and see anything other than a Manchester City win, to be fair. But what I have done is, between them slipping up a little bit in previous weeks and Chelsea dropping points today, it's given us a bit of breathing room, hasn't it? It's given us a bit of a chance to get back in and really force ourselves into this title race. So look, let's have a look. We'll swap over scenes. We'll go into the studio and we'll have a look at what I've predicted for the West Ham game. Now, as always, ladies and gentlemen, love to know your thoughts on my predicted 11, my score prediction, anything else I talk about in this segment. We'll action into the live chat and we'll get to it. Right, here we go. We're ready? Start off with a score prediction. Of course I've gone for a win for the Reds. You wouldn't respect me if I didn't, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, look, 3-1. We have good memories travelling down to play West Ham at the London City Stadium, but it's not going to be straightforward. They are a good team under David Moyes. I'm doing a preview later on tonight at 9 o'clock with Russ, who does his West Ham 11. I'm going to do that with him later on. Looking forward to it, but I'm a little bit nervous. I won't lie. I think I'm underrating how good we are, and I constantly do it. And maybe in my head, I'm building West Ham up into be a big bad monster. But I don't know, do the dark winter nights make anybody else a little bit more nervous? Because they do with me. I was very nervous ahead of last weekend's game as well. But again, the Reds never let us down. So look, I'm not expecting an easy game. I really am. And West Ham are a good side. Mikel Antonio is like a battering ram up top. He'll run the hard yards. Jared Bowen obviously coming in off that right hand side. Very good player. Fornals, Benrahma, lots of options there for David Moyes and West Ham. But look, it's about Jurgen Klopp's options that we're interested. So let's start off with the goalkeeper and the centre backs for tomorrow's game. I think it'll be as you were. Obviously, Alisson will be in goal. Nobody's going to debate that one. A couple of people were suggesting maybe go with Canade like we did against Manchester United. I just think, and I'm going to reiterate what I've always said, Joe Matip, to me, has been our best defender this season. I wouldn't swap him. I'd leave him alongside Van Dijk. Into the full-back areas, yep, I have brought Robbo back in. I know, a lot of people are going to say Craig, Costa, TSIMIKAS. To me, away from home, in a difficult game, go with the experience. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going with the experience of Andy Robertson over Costa TSIMIKAS. And it is only that. Let me be really, really blunt about this. It's only that. It's only the experience of Robbo that makes me give him the nod in this game. If we had been at home, I probably wouldn't go for Costa TSIMIKAS, I won't lie. But I'm going to stick with Andy Robertson. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold on the far side. But look, I can understand 100% why people will give Costas a run, because he hasn't let us down. He's been very, very good. But, as I said, I can't get past the experience of the big game. So for me, Robbo at left back. Moving into midfield, there's not going to be too many surprises here for anybody. Fabinho in the Houlden midfield role, it's no secret. We're a better team when Fabinho's playing in the 6. Jordan Henderson into his familiar right-hand position, where he can help out Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mohamed Salah, and dropped in defensively as well. On the left side, and I'm so goddamn happy to say this, ladies and gentlemen, Thiago Alcantara. Yeah, there you go. So Thiago, look, that's a pretty good midfield. You know what I mean? We'll talk about injuries, we'll talk about the lack of options for Kloppo, but that's pretty close to our best midfield, in my opinion. Harvey Elliott, yes, back on form, full of confidence perhaps when he comes back, but right now, that's our best midfield. So for me, Fabinho, Hendo and Thiago. Moving up top, the injury to Bobby Firmino, who looks like he could be out for up to 10 weeks, by the way. Certainly 10 games, I hear. That's not what we want to hear. So with that in mind, obviously, look, there's not too many changes I could make. Sadio Mane on the left-hand side, Mohamed Salah on the right-hand side, and Diogo Jota to the centre. That's it. There isn't really too many more changes I can make. There will probably be some shouts for Minamino. There might be a few for Origi. Again, I can understand it. But it's a massive game. And it's a game we need to get 3 points. We need to capitalise on Chelsea slipping up at home to Burnley. That's the 11 that I think can get the job done. That's the score prediction for me, ladies and gentlemen. So to run through again, Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo at left back, Virgil van Dijk and Joe Matip at the heart of the defence, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, Thiago Alcantara in midfield, Mohamed Salah on the right hand side, Sadio Mane on the left hand side, and Diogo Jota to the centre. Now, this could be 3 games that Mohamed Salah hasn't scored in. Is it a drought for him? Probably. But I got a feeling he's got to stick one in the back of the net tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I'm going to go a little bit further. I have. You know, sometimes you get a feeling before games. You get a premonition. I've got a feeling Mohamed Salah is going to score a penalty tomorrow. Don't know. Just in my head. So I'm going to have to stick a sneaky few quid on that one. Just, you know, just in case. Because I won't forgive myself if I had this feeling he does it and I haven't stuck a few quid on it. So for me, Mohamed Salah will score. I'm going for a penalty. Mark said, just renewed my membership. Totally worth it, Craig. Please remind people, if you could, that Liverpool versus Manchester United, what the score was. Sabrina, do you remember what the score was against United? I think it was 5. Just confirmed that with my wife, Mark. You know, it's always good to get a second opinion on these things. And she has confirmed that it was indeed not 1, Mark. Not 2. A little bit of talk that it was 3, Mark. That isn't true. 4, it's been doing the rounds, but I'm here to put you straight. It wasn't 4. It was 5, Mark. It was 5. 5 of our goals to Bagel Hole of their goals. So that, just to confirm everybody, you might be coming in a little bit late. 5 of our goals to 0 Bagel Hole of theirs. Polo, 5. 5. Hi everybody. Hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. I love it. Is this ever going to grow old? No, it isn't. It isn't going to grow old, is it? Let's be honest. I'm waking up out of bed now in the middle of the night and going, 5! 5! 5 everybody. So we go, what's going on? It's 5, love. It's 5. 5. She got a little bit excited then. I had to say, no, not 5 minutes for you. It's 5-0. It's 5-0. Right, look. Let's move back into the studio. So that's my prediction anyway. 3-1 win for the Reds. That's the 11 that I think will get the job done. Now I'm going to swap back over to the nice and sexy Anfield Agenda studio. United are so dead, they're 5 feet under. Actually, before we move on to talk about Liverpool, to talk about Manchester United, Manchester City, I want to just take a second to talk about Real Madrid's new stadium. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. The images were unveiled on Twitter the other night and look everywhere by Real Madrid. But a couple of things. Firstly, it's a fantastic stadium. Nobody's going to deny that. The plans for the Bernabeu look absolutely magnificent. But if there was a poster child in stadium form for the European Super League, that's it. Because when I looked at that stadium, now look, people will look at me saying this and think, Craig, that's sour grapes. It's not. Wait, listen to where I'm going with this. I looked at that stadium and it made me think, is football really at this point now? Like, is that what we're looking at as a football stadium and going, that has a heart and soul? Because for me, it doesn't. To me, that looks like a sterile commercial space that has a lot of multiple uses. You can see that they've mocked it up so it has an NBA. They mocked it up so there's a tennis stadium. The thing divides in two. There's an NFL. The grass goes under the pitch. They've got lights. They've got water, UV lights, all this snazzy stuff. But to me, I look at it and it just makes me think, is football a sport anymore, or is it now just an entertainment industry? Because I've been to a lot of new stadiums. I've been to Spurs' new stadium, which is magnificent. And it still feels like a football stadium. It still feels like, probably to me, the absolute limit of where we are with regards to football stadiums and not creating a sterile environment. So Real Madrid's one, to me, it just means, it's just taken, I'm probably not explaining this very well. I just look at it and it feels soulless. It doesn't feel like there's an identity there. It just feels like it's an ego project for Florentino Perez. I hope that makes sense. That's where I'm going with it. If there was a poster for the Super League, that'd be it. I don't like it. Rabadan said, arrest City, it's illegal to feck a corpse. It is indeed, mate. Yes, it is illegal. But yeah, if you haven't seen the plans for Real Madrid's new stadium, have a look at it. You know, go onto Twitter, social media. Anyway, you'll see the video. Magnificent piece of engineering. Do not get me wrong. It is a phenomenal piece of engineering. But I just look at it and just think, meh. So what I mean? It's another step away from where football was, and the roots that we've all grown up in watching football. That's my take on it. Anyway, we move on. Thought I'd managed to get over a match before Christmas. The match against Villa in a month. €160 per ticket. Dreams crushed. Yeah, I've actually got it confirmed yesterday from a friend of mine that he's managed to source tickets. So we're going to be going over for the Liverpool-Brentford game. I think it's the weekend of January 15th, 16th, something along those lines. So yeah, we're going to be over for that one. But yeah, like you, mate, this is the first time I'll have been over in a couple of years. So yeah, difficult to get tickets. But yeah, even at that, look, a little bit above face value. The ones we're getting a little bit reasonable, but yes, it is, man. It's difficult, but you know, what can you do? Tyra said, I hope we keep Anfield for 1,000 years and more. I hope we keep it as a traditional style. Yeah, look, you look at Anfield, proper football stadium. Old Trafford, proper football stadium, albeit could do a little bit of updating. The Emirates, proper football stadium. There's just something about that Real Madrid stadium that I can't take to. Me personally, it doesn't look like a European football stadium to me. It looks, as I said, more like a fantastic feat of engineering. Alex said, Salah hat-trick tomorrow. Hopefully do. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Right, let's have a little talk about the game earlier on today, shall we? Manchester United against Manchester City. No real surprises with the result. Pep Guardiola's men ran out comfortable 2-0 winners by the sounds of it. And apparently, if it wasn't for David De Gea masterclass in the first half, it could have been 4, 5 and 6. But are they going to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I hope not. You hope not if you're watching at home, you're a Liverpool fan. Any neutral around the world hopes not. So yeah, let's wait to see what happens. And again, Chelsea dropping points today was, you know, credit to Sean Dyche and Burnley for the way they stuck in and defended, and they could have won it at the end. I don't know if you guys seen the opportunities. They've had a couple of half chances there right at the end where they probably could have snuck a winner in the game. But it is what it is. To us tomorrow, if we get the win against West Ham, that's going to be, if we get the win against West Ham, that's what, going to bring us 1 point away from Chelsea, which is pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Pretty damn good. I mean, as I said, we need to keep in that title race, and when Chelsea slip up like they have at home today against Burnley, a game that we all expected Chelsea to get the 3 points, we've got to make sure that we capitalise tomorrow and go out there and get the job done. So look, fingers crossed. And look, it's difficult to doubt the lads because they're in an amazing vein of form at the minute. But injuries are starting to rack up. West Ham going to be full of confidence as well. I think West Ham in their Europa League group now have 10 points from a possible 12 after their 2-2 draw, I believe, during the week in Belgium. Ayal said Jay Rodriguez and Vidra had chances at the end to win it. Yeah, the Vidra one was the one I was particularly thinking of, mate. He had a chance to lob it over Mendy and he put it wide. Yeah, so that wasn't great. But look, I'm not complaining. A point, I'd have happily, if you said to me before the game to get a point, I'd have bitten your hand off. The offensive defender said, Craig, Chelsea are just a rich C-Tech Burnley. City's the only rival for us in the league. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you about Chelsea or what they are or aren't, but I'm talking about the league. I think Chelsea are the team to catch this year, I do. Not just because they're ahead in the league right now. I said it at the start, if you go back and look at my prediction for the season, I had Chelsea as the team to catch. Rodriguez wouldn't shoot either. Yes, true, he should have. Look, I feel a bit salty here talking about opportunities that they had and didn't take, but as I said, a point... That's as much as we could have hoped for. And if we win tomorrow, we move back ahead 2 points clear of Manchester City and 1 point behind Chelsea, which is not too shabby, ladies and gentlemen, considering we've had our fair share of injuries, some difficult games at the start of the season. Little shout out to the Anfield Agenda TikTok, by the way. If you haven't given us a follow on TikTok, you can just search Anfield Agenda, go over there, check us out. Really would appreciate if you could. We're closing in on 50,000 followers, so if you get a chance, please go across to the Anfield Agenda TikTok and give us a follow. Right, a draw is more than enough, said RSH14. Yep, I agree. Anything else you guys want to chat about? Lash it into the chat. Absolutely embarrassing at the end for Burnley, said Chris Legit. Well, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing for them, mate. It's a good result. A point away at Chelsea. They probably weren't expecting it. And Barcelona, I don't know if you've seen this, by the way. You know, I've got a soft spot for Barca, so I often look at their games. They were on today early against Celta Vigo. 3-0 up. 3-0 up in Vigo against Celta Vigo. And Barcelona capitulate. And then Iago Aspas, 6th minute of injury time, equaliser, brought Celta Vigo back in to draw that game 3-3. Crazy game of football, but life just isn't getting any better for Barcelona, who of course have announced that Xavi Hernandez, like I told you many moons ago, will be their new manager. So look, he's got a big job on his hands, doesn't he? But it's a whole lot of not our problem, really. We're only focused on the Reds. Where did I hear about Bobby going to miss 10 games? Connor told me about it, mate, and Connor heard it from someone else. It looks like an extended period out for Bobby. The 10 games is what I was told. Again, please always take what I say with a pinch of salt because, you know, Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool aren't very forthcoming with timeframes and stuff like this. So fingers crossed, David. It's earlier than that. But look, what we do know for certain is Bobby's not available for the time being. Keita's not available for the time being. Milner's not available for the time being. Curtis Jones not available, obviously, for the game tomorrow either, having got a finger in his eye. Yes, I said that. A finger in his eye. Yeah, mad. The Raptor, how are you, dude? Lovely to see you win again, my man. Uncle Raptor's back. Said, it's no surprise that De Gea keeps getting man of the match for United, is it? No, but what is a surprise, mate, was when David De Gea conceded that goal in the Champions League during the week, made a mistake, should have saved it. There was a load of Manchester United fans saying De Gea out. Now, that goes to show you the petulance of the modern day football fan. The man has been a colossus for them for the past few years, and there was people calling from out because he made a mistake. But that just goes to show you the shit show that is Manchester United at the minute, and I'm absolutely loving it, Uncle Raptor. Loving it, mate. What's more important, an attacker in January or a midfielder? Am I the only one that doesn't think we're going to do business in January, by the way? I hope I'm wrong. God, nothing would make me happier than to wake up on January the 1st and hear that Eddie Amy or somebody assigned for Liverpool Football Club. But, you know, if we're talking about priorities, I would say it's an attacker because of the AFCON. But outside of the AFCON, we need both. We need a midfielder and an attacker. I'm just not convinced we're going to do anything in January. Now, I'd love us to. Don't get me wrong. I will absolutely sit here and say 100% that we need a midfielder and we need an attacking player. No argument about it. I just don't think we'll do it in January. That's my honest opinion. Sancho must be waiting, wanting out more than ever. Yeah, it's, you make these decisions, you have to stand over them. Calvin Phillips or Bellingham? 100% Bellingham, mate, in that conversation. You know, Calvin Phillips is a fine footballer and somebody who's been mentioned potentially as somebody who could do a Jordan Henderson role for us, but yeah, it's got to be Jude Bellingham. Connor said he's still convinced that we'll bring in some cheap, unknown attacker like Minamino. I don't know about that, because let's look at our first experiment. Minamino didn't really work out, so I don't know. I don't know if attackers are that plentiful in the unknown variety, is what I'm trying to say, really. Sancho kind of follow the money. It's hard to feel bad, said Hex. Yeah, see, I agree with you, because nobody can say you look at the sporting project there at Manchester United and realistically say that it's one that would have enticed you to come and play, because nobody grew up watching football saying, I want to someday play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Didn't happen. Nobody's ever done that. Whereas people will say, I could get excited by playing with Pep Guardiola, get excited by playing with Jurgen Klopp, could get excited by playing with Conte, could get excited going playing for Thomas Tuchel. You know, you're going to probably win things. And look, Manchester United are still a massive club, and they'll always have a draw. Of course they will. There'll always be a draw for players, both because of the fact they can pay big wages and because they are one of the biggest football clubs in the world. But from a sporting perspective, yeah, I mean, there are better projects, let's just say. But they pay the money. You know, I do think Jadon Sancho will come good, by the way. I don't, you know, I'm not going to write the lad off. I think Jadon Sancho was a very good footballer, and I think a better manager would get a tune out of him. But I also think it's fair or unfair to write anybody off this early into their career at any club. So I would say hang off a little bit there before we start sticking the boot in. Nah, fuck it, it's United, stick the boot in. What's your thoughts on Anthony? He's had a good start to his Ajax career. Was it Sao Paulo he came in from? The last time I read a stat, I think he was involved in 14 goals or something this season. And still 21 years of age. Looks like a good attacking talent. And I think definitely would be on the radar of Liverpool and other clubs. But, you know, at 21 years of age, still some developing to do. I still think Jeremy Doku, ladies and gentlemen, I still think that that's probably our most likely attacking option. But you know my names. You know, I'll give you the same names all the time. Jeremy Doku, Pedro Neto, Harvey Barnes. At a push, Jared Bowen, I can understand why. You know, I'm not saying there isn't maybe better options there. Would I take Podence? No, not yet. No. Yeah, it's difficult because, look, Wolves have got some very good youngsters coming through. Of course they have, particularly from the Portuguese contingent that they have. But I'd rather Pedro Neto, who's only now starting to come back from that serious injury. Do you think we should be worried about Antonio tomorrow, said Eddie Ward? Obviously, mate, respectful of Mikel Antonio and his abilities, 100%. Worried? No, we're Liverpool Football Club. We shouldn't be worried about anybody. We should be imposing our game on the opposition. So I think it's fair to say Virgil van Dijk and Joe Matip will know they're going to have a handful tomorrow against Mikel Antonio. But, you know, I wonder what West Ham central defenders are thinking about the possibility of facing Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah. I'd say they probably lose a little bit more sleep. This is ours for the taking, Craig said. K-Dot, I love it, mate. The world is ours. Let's go and get it. I'm on board, 100%. Tyra said Pedro Neto and Jude Bellingham would be the perfect window. It would. It would be it won't happen in January, Tyra, but yes, it would be a very, very good piece of business. Look, there's loads of attacking players we could look at, though. That's the beauty of it. There's like I disagree with Connor to an extent of there being the possibility of some unknown players, but there are loads of attacking players out there that we could perhaps go and get for a reasonable fee. And by reasonable, I mean between 30 and 45 million quid. Which, is that still reasonable? I don't know anymore. I don't know what reasonable is in the world of football. You're hilarious, said Scott. Thank you, mate. Just like to have a bit of fun, dude. You know, just like to have a bit of fun on a Saturday evening. Sure, what else would you be doing? Is Bellingham worth 101 million? Yes. He is. Now, it's a big statement for me to say Jude Bellingham is worth £100 million. But I think that he is for a number of factors. One, the experience that he's gained at such a young age, both on the international level with England and obviously in the Champions League and the Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund. Used to playing in front of a big vociferous crowd in front of the yellow wall there. Delivers, by the way, scoring goals and assists, bossing games at that tender young age. Then you've got the fact that he's English, because whether we like it or not, there is a premium on English players if you're going to bring them to the Premier League because of the homegrown rule. So yeah, I would say, look, in modern football, you know, what is anybody worth? Whatever anyone's willing to pay for them. I still don't think that Grealish is a £100 million player to anybody except Manchester City. But if we could afford it, yes. You know, if you want somebody that will get you 7-8 years at the very top, maybe even longer, and still have an option to maybe move him on if you wanted to when he's 27, 28, which, look, we don't want to. We want to keep the best players here. He's the right type of profile for me, but there you go. Who else could we get that could do as good of a job? Bissouma would give us something in midfield, but not as much going forward, perhaps, as Jude Bellingham would. Nicola Barella from Inter Milan, I would happily bring in, but I would fear he would probably cost 70, 80 million quid anyway. Yeah, outside of that, I mean, there's probably a deal to be had with Yuri Tielemans with the contract situation that he currently finds himself in with Leicester City. And to me, look, I would happily take Yuri Tielemans at Liverpool Football Club, happily take him if the numbers were right. And if he did hold off and make it clear that he wanted to move to Liverpool, you know, I think there could be a deal to be done there because, you know, his contract's running down and he has a new offer on the table from Leicester, hasn't signed. Just because Barella signed a new contract doesn't mean that he will never move, Richard. I'm aware of the situation at Inter Milan there, but there's also been a link for Conte, for Spurs, for Barella. I know, it's mad. But yes, I'm aware of his contract situation, same as Pedri signed a new contract at Barcelona, Ansu Fati a new contract at Barcelona. Connor said, Paris Saint-Germain forward Kylian Mbappe has cast doubt on a potential move to Real Madrid this summer as he's reportedly disappointed with manager Carlo Ancelotti. Interesting. So what are the options, are we saying then, for Kylian Mbappe? You know, his contract's running out at PSG. Where else could he go in the world? Manchester City, perhaps. United, let's be honest, they're nowhere near good enough for him. Liverpool, we don't have the money. So where does he go? Does he stay at PSG in the end then and play there with Neymar Jr. and Messi? Let's wait and see. It's an interesting development. Armando, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Said, if we can't beat West Ham tomorrow, we don't deserve the league. Perfect opportunity after Chelsea result. Well, look, it's a bit of a blanket statement, mate, but I get where you're coming from. It's a game. If you're going to win the league, you should be looking to go and get a win. But it's also the Premier League, and 4:30 kickoff under the lights in London against West Ham. West Ham who are flying high, full of confidence, with a manager who's got a system that works for them. I don't think it's going to be a straightforward evening at all, but I do agree with you. We should be looking to go there and get the win. Mbappe to Liverpool on a free, said Mohammed. Oh, mate, nothing about Mbappe will ever scream free. You know, even if there's no transfer fee involved, there will be a lot of money involved because... Hang on, do you hear that? Oh, no. That's just another truck full of money being reversed up to his house right now by those at PSG to just see if they want it. They open up the back of it, show him all the wonga and go, huh? Kylian? Huh? What you saying? Did Firmino hurt his ankle or his leg? It's a hamstring injury, Melissa. Hamstring injury for Bobby Firmino that unfortunately has ruled him out for a prolonged period. Let's just go with prolonged because I realise I said 10 at the start of the show. That's what Connor had said he'd heard earlier on. But as always, do your own investigations into these things. Have a little look around. I don't want to give an exact time scale, so I probably my error for saying 10 earlier on, but a prolonged period. Only positive is that Jota will grow. I mean, Diogo Jota will do a fine job, no doubt about it. But I'm more concerned about the possible carryover of this injury, maybe towards the AFCON. So, you know, let's wait and see. What's your opinion on FSG? Oh. look, generally, I don't think we can have a conversation that I just say I am FSG in or FSG out. I don't think that that's fair to have that conversation in one sentence. So, where am I with FSG? I can appreciate the good stuff that they've done, and there's been a lot of it, whether we want to admit it or not. But there's been too many faux pas for me. There's been too many. The Super League was the last straw. I don't give a shit what excuse they use. To me, that was the last straw. So for me, I've no trust in FSG or anything that John W. Henry has to say anymore. Um, I will always acknowledge the good stuff that they've done for the club, and I think it's right that we all acknowledge the good stuff that he's done for the club or they've done for the club. But you can only stick the knife in somebody's back so many times before you think, hang on, this is a repetitive pattern of behaviour here. So look, great stuff at the training ground, great stuff at Anfield, but everything that they've done has been to add value to the brand, to the asset that they own, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to do that, you know, but there's just no coming back from the Super League for me. And they would have run and thrown us all under a bus. They would have thrown 130 years of Liverpool's history of the European Cup out the window to run after a pound note and chase this Americanized, bastardized model of European football that I don't recognize. So for me, because of that, no, there's no coming back. I can always swallow no transfer. I can always absorb the disappointment of not buying a player or potentially not supporting a manager as much as we fans want to, because that's normal. That's normal procedure for an owner of a football club. But to just sell out an entire fan base and an entire tradition, I can't. I mean, I was facing down the barrel of never watching Liverpool Football Club play football again, and I know that sounds over the top, but that's how I felt when I heard about the Super League. I was petrified that I'd never ever give a shit about football again, because I started off this video and I spoke about Real Madrid stadium. I spoke about how I feel football is now pushing further and further to entertainment and not sport and not a working person's game. And I feel that FSG are only trying to enhance that. And maybe I'm a dinosaur. Maybe I'm stuck back in the old ages, but I know what I like about football. I know what drew me to the game. I know what makes me feel at one with other football fans, be they from Liverpool or be they from any other part of the world. And it has nothing to do with that Super League and the way that that's going. So that's my take on it. Again, though, it's a very nuanced conversation, isn't it? You can't just say, well, you can, of course. You can say I'm one or the other, but I think if we want to have a real conversation about it as fans, we can't just be blindly angry in one direction. You gotta, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? I've got to acknowledge the good and the bad and make my mind up. That's my opinion. So, grand scheme of things, yeah, I'd like a new owner. I would. But I'd also say, be careful who that owner is, because, this day and age, the odds of somebody who loved Liverpool their entire life and happens to have £2.5 billion to buy the club and another billion to throw at transfers and infrastructure, that's most likely going to be either another sovereign-backed fund or investment fund or vulture fund or so I would say we need to kind of be careful what we wish for as well. Bellingham or world peace? World peace, obviously. World peace. I mean, come on, that's a silly question. Craig, have you been out popping fireworks this weekend? No, they don't appeal to me at all, mate. And fireworks are illegal in Ireland. You're not allowed to buy or use them without a license. And I haven't liked the few snidey incidents I've seen as well. I mean, I know #United had one of their players hit with a firework. I know Waterford against Shamrock Rovers had a very unsavoury incident of fireworks shot at the players on the pitch, and it's dangerous. So, no, I defo wasn't out and about messing with fireworks this weekend. I'm good, thank you, Kieran. All good. FSG just need to not be stingy businessmen and give Klopp the players required. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it is. It's exactly that, isn't it? That's all that we want. Like, if I thought that Jurgen Klopp was really at peace with the squad that he has and doesn't really think that we need more players, I'd probably feel a bit more calm towards the owners, but I don't believe it when Jurgen Klopp says, how do we improve this squad? I think he's just doing the statesman-like thing of not stirring the pot. Will Minamino start? When, Ted? Tomorrow? I doubt it. You know, stranger things have happened, but I doubt it. Craig, we need depth, and will our current owners back this squad or back the current squad? Craig, we need depth, and will our current owner back this? I don't know what you exactly mean by that, Gary. We are lacking depth. No denying it, mate. Most of the positions in the pitch, I think it's fair to say, we probably have two. Probably could do a little bit stronger at right back. Could certainly do a little bit stronger in an attacking sense with regards to the options available. But we also, while we're having this conversation, we can't not look at Cade Gordon. We can't not look at Musialowski. We can't ignore their development. So there is a balancing act, because ideally we'd all love players to come from the academy system, come into the first team and be world beaters. So definitely is a bit of a balance there. So I do appreciate and accept that side of it as well. I hope we get Fabio Carvalho. That's the young guy. If anybody watched the One Football News video we did, Fabio Carvalho is the young guy from Fulham who looks like an absolutely wonderful young talent. Spoke about him a little bit in that video. Someone who Liverpool have been linked with. And that might be the type of person that Connor was on about, by the way. You know, somebody who isn't a world star yet, but could probably be got for a reasonable fee. And we've certainly been linked with them. So if you haven't watched that, then check it out. How do you join as a member, said Jay. If you don't see a blue join button, dude, you can click on the link that Connor just posted into the live chat there now, or it's in the description. Membership on the channel is $4.99 a month, but what you do get is access to our Discord group. So even when we're not online, days off, stuff like that, I'm always active in the Discord group. It's for members only. You get the Anfield Agenda match day emojis. You can use them whenever you want, but they're most useful on match days. Your name appears in green to me and other members as well. Yeah, there you go. That's the few bits and pieces that you get anyway. And you get to keep the lights on at Anfield Agenda, which always helps. Helps us anyway. Would you rather lose Salah or Fabinho? I don't want to lose either of them, mate. So neither. I'd rather lob off a fingernail than lose either of the lads, because they're amazing. Do I think Mo Salah is the best in the world? Yes and no. I think he's the best in the world now, but, you know, who do I think should win the Ballon d'Or? Lewandowski. You know, I want Salah to be in the conversation for next season's one, but right now I think Robert Lewandowski should get this season's Ballon d'Or. Craig, I love your optimism, but the players you mentioned are young players. We need quality now. Oh, look, mate, Gary, what I'm saying doesn't mean that I agree, mate. I mean, like you, I do agree. We should go out there and bring in a couple of established players ready for now. I know what if Jurgen Klopp was asked this, what he'd be thinking at the back of his mind as well. Because there is that lovely bit of excitement, isn't there, when you see a young guy coming through from the academy system, and you know if they burst into the first team like Curtis Jones or Raheem Sterling before that, or, you know, Michael Owen back in the day, or Steven Gerrard, there's something satisfying about seeing somebody who either came through the academy and cost the club very little, or, you know, somebody who we brought in for £1 million or £2 million and then they turn out to be this exquisite talent that we all get to have joy watching, and has this long-held connection to the football club because they were there from when they were 10, 12, 14 years of age. So there's something sexy, something beautiful, something romantic about that whole thing. But yeah, look, we do need to go out there and buy established players as well. Kieran said, thanks for making the videos, mate. Love watching every morning. Much love. Mate, it's a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in, Kieran, all the way from New Zealand as well. Wow. Yeah, mate, it's honestly, never any need to thank me, man. This is a two-way street. I enjoy it, hopefully, just as much as you guys do. Jay, you found the membership, dude. Welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my man. Yeah, appreciate it. Really do appreciate your support. Craig, Portugal have a good bunch of stars coming through. They're building their own golden generation. Do you think they can win the World Cup? Look, yes. In short, yes. You know, as you said, they do have a great bunch coming through, and they also have a great group of experienced players as well. You know, Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Diogo Jota, Moutinho. They've got no shortage of goalkeepers as well. Very, very good defenders. So yeah, 100% Portugal have to be in the conversation for stuff like this. Craig, do you like physics? I'm not clever enough to really appreciate physics, Rosh lad, to be honest with you. Look at that. This is why I love the Anfield Agenda live chat as well. Everybody welcoming Jay in. That's why you guys are amazing. Thank you. Right, again, shout out. Don't forget to give us a follow on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to cash in. We've got to get that 50,000. We've got to catch up with Mr. Paddy Murphy. So, yeah, get over to Anfield Agenda TikTok. Give us a follow on there as well. I like the new pop-up buttons I have to play around with, by the way. It makes me feel very professional here, having all these pop-ups that Connor's designed for the channel. And, well, Manscaped sent us that one, obviously. Who do you think we'll face in the last 16? I haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue, mate. Don't mind either. Whoever we face in the last 16, we should be looking to win. Am I the only one who thinks we're winning the Champions League, by the way? I'm putting that out there right now. You got to have luck on your side. You do. Of course you do. But I genuinely think we're the best team in the competition. I don't see anybody beating us in the Champions League. I really, really don't. So I'm going to go bold and say I think we win the Champions League this season. And I'd love us to win the League Cup as well. But yeah, I'm going bold. I'm going for number 7. Fuck it, why not? Which players do I want to move on the most? Look, cards on the table. Origi, Minamino, Nat Phillips, Chamberlain, Adrian. I actually don't mind Nico Williams if he stays or not, to be honest. Milner at the end of the season, I think, will probably move on. And look, if he does move on, that frees up a lot of wages as well, don't forget, which, you know, could be used towards the likes of Jude Bellingham. I think that's about it. I think that will be Karius. He's going to be released on a free in January, by the way. I don't know if everybody's seen this. I meant to say it the other day, but I completely forgot about it. So, Liverpool have been trying their best to sell Loris Karius for years now. And I think to, you know, help him get his career back on track, the club are willing to let him leave on a free in January. So, we'll wait and see what happens there. How bad do you feel... Or how bad do you think the AFCON will ruin our season? I don't think it'll be as bad as we think it'll be. You know, I don't think... We're not going to be the only team that are going to be affected by it. Obviously, Chelsea are going to lose their goalkeeper for it, and other Premier League clubs are losing players. We're probably going to be more impacted than some clubs, yes, but I don't want it to be an excuse because we knew the AFCON was coming. So... if I use it as an excuse, then I have to acknowledge that I don't think that Jurgen Klopp, Pep Linders, Kravitz and the rest of the coaching staff will have planned for it. And I know for a fact, of course, they will have planned for it. So I don't think it should be used as an excuse. That's my take on it. I don't like that it's a ready-made excuse. Last season, that was the season we got away with using excuses, in my opinion. This season, we can't be using excuses. Do you think Milner could join the coaching staff? I think the real question there is if James Milner wants to play for another couple of years. And he could. Of course he could. James Milner could absolutely play for another year or two. No doubt about it. And I've got no doubt that Jurgen Klopp would like to keep James Milner at the football club because he's a very influential, in a positive way, person in our dressing room. So we'll wait and see. Do I like Salah? Of course I do. I love Mo. Love Mo, love Thadio, love Bobby, love Diogo, love Verge, love Allison, love Trent, love Robbo, love everyone, me. Craig, who do you think should get some more game time in our squad? Nobody. And I don't mean that rudely, Eddie. I mean, I think the people I want to get game time are getting game time. You know, obviously Harvey Elliott aside, whose very unfortunate injury has curtailed his season a little bit, but other than that, there's not really anybody I look at and think I wish Jurgen Klopp gave this guy more minutes, because I think our our strongest team is fairly self-evident. Any further news on Anthony and Liverpool's interest? No. But it's also important to remember, as I said, Anthony's only at Ajax a few months. This is his first season there. He's still only 21 years of age, so, I wouldn't be going over the top on him just yet. It's a big step up from the Eredivisie to the Premier League. What do I think of Vlahovic as a signing? Actually, do you know what? Being honest about Vlahovic, having spoke with Chris from LFC Transfer Room, obviously Chris Stonich, who you see on the channel regularly, and some other people, I don't think from what they've said and from what I've seen that Vlahovic is the right fit for us. Whereas, you look at a Chiesa and you go, yeah. I don't think Vlahovic is the right fit. I don't think he would work in our system from what I've seen and from the scouting reports and the information that other people I've spoken to about him have said. But look, have I watched much of Fiorentina? Not really. Glenn said, massive game tomorrow, Craig, going for a 3-1 win. On that, I'm going to flick back over and go through, there's my predicted 11 again for anyone who missed it earlier on. I think Liverpool are going to win 3-1 tomorrow. This is my predicted 11. Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Robbo at left back, Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip in the centre back positions, Fabinho in the Houlden midfield role, Thiago and Jordan Henderson either side of him, Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah. That's the 11 that I think get the job done tomorrow. Again though, let me know what you think in the chat. For tomorrow, by the way, we will be live at about 3:50 p.m. Last game for the international break for a watch along. So 3:50 p.m. we'll start the watch along. Then we'll have a post-match show. I'm thinking of knocking the player ratings on the head, by the way. Let me explain why. I feel like when I do a post-match show with the player ratings, it's all very rushed and unstructured, and I don't really get a chance to talk enough about the game in the context that I'd like. So I think maybe, if it's okay with you guys, we will reserve the player ratings for, I don't know, down the line, and perhaps just have a vote on the man of the match in the post-match reaction show, because I want to get through more of your comments and I want to interact with you guys a little bit more than I feel like I get to do if we do the player ratings. It just feels a bit cluttered and messy to me. So yes, if you don't mind, we'll do the match reaction tomorrow with just me and you guys, where we go for a man of the match vote and stuff, and then I will be joined by Paddy Murphy and Kyle from Nothing But Reds for a reaction to the game. And Monday I'm off, actually. I'm in the dentist on Monday, finally getting this tooth issue sorted, hopefully. So there'll be no stream on Monday. I'm in the old dentist, and I presume I'll be having a tooth out, so player rating is good fun. It is. I get it, but it's just very clunky when you're doing it live. I feel like it's 20 minutes of time that I could have spent talking about the game with you guys and interacting a little bit. So yeah, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, just for me, it just feels a bit rushed to do them, and I don't like rating players when I've only watched the game once as well, because I'm reacting. I haven't got a chance to delve into the stats of the game, and I feel like I'm doing the players a disservice when I've only seen the game once and probably forgotten some stuff. So, I like to take a bit of time before I do a player rating or anything like that. That's my thought process anyway. Messi's winning the Ballon d'Or. That wouldn't surprise me, but he doesn't deserve it, let's be honest. If Robert Lewandowski doesn't get a Ballon d'Or for his exploits over the past, let's call it 2 seasons, because the previous Ballon d'Or was cancelled, then it's a sham. What's wrong with your tooth? I've got a broken wisdom tooth that flares up with an infection probably every 6 weeks. And I've been putting it on the long finger, so I really need to get it dealt with. And I've just finished the course of antibiotics a week or so ago, so I want to get it done because the pain is unbelievable when it kicks in. And I don't want to miss any time making content. The bills got to be paid. Wow, Newcastle bottom of the league at the minute, 11 games played and 4 points. What score is that game, actually, if anyone's watching it live? One quick thing about boxing, by the way, just a real quick thing. I know a lot of people in the live chat, Dara Azizi and the like. Shout out to Dara if you're watching. I know you are. You're always in the chat, mate. Top man. I was watching the Top Rank card last night, Michaela Meyer fought a French lady for the IBF and the WBO world titles, I think it was. And it was one of the best fights. And I don't mean female fights. It was one of the best absorbing, attritional, beautiful examples of sport that was absolutely fucking ruined by the judges yet again. I don't know what boxing has to do to sort out the problem of shitty home decisions. You could absolutely say that Michaela Meyer won the fight by a round or two. No doubt about that. But the judges gave it as 10 rounds to 0, 9 rounds to 1, and 8 rounds to 2. And before that, they fucked over another fighter who absolutely lost, but they gave him the win. Boxing needs to sort its shit out. It's a disgrace. That card last night was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful example of boxing at the highest level there with Michaela Meyer in her fight. It was brilliant, so attritional, so endearing, so captivating. Two women leaving it all in the ring. Nothing but respect for the two ladies. My God, they were like they were standing in a phone box throwing digs. It was a great ad for the sport. Absolutely beautiful ad for the sport. Ruined by disgraceful judges yet again in boxing. It's fucking awful. And I felt so sorry for that French lady who, I can't remember her name, I won't lie to you, but Warrior doesn't do her justice. It was beautiful, it was amazing, and the judges should be fucking ashamed. Right, what else we got? Who you got? Usman or Covington? I don't watch that much UFC, dude. I know who Kamaru Usman and Kobe Covington are, but I don't know enough about UFC to really talk about it. But I will be watching Canelo Plant. And by the way, am I right in saying that the Canelo fight is £19.99 in the UK? So before I go on my rant, can somebody just confirm to me that the price for the Canelo fight is £19.99 on BT Sport Box Office before I go on my little rant? Rafter said, especially with the celeb boxing, it's a joke. Look, at least with that, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That lady, to have it all ripped away from her and to say she lost about 10 rounds to 0, 9 rounds to 1, 8 rounds to 2 was a joke. On the BT thing, I'm just waiting for confirmation it's £20 in the UK, because here's where I'm going with this anyway. Why the fuck is it £20 in the UK and £29.99 in Ireland? So €30. Usually, if the fight's £19.99, it's 25 quid. So why are BT absolutely fleecing us for the fight by making it €30? It's a disgrace again. Don't like it. So if it's 20 quid, why is it €30? Should be 25 quid, like Sky do, in fairness. All I can think of was that Sky want a little few quid for processing that or something. But yeah, not great. What else we got? I don't think we need to worry about the judges with the Canelo fight. Someone's getting KO'd. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. And this is one of those occasions where the clock getting put back an hour actually suits us, because it means that the fight's a little bit earlier. Yeah, it is 19.95. So yeah, 19.95 and then fucking €30. Now you do the exchange rate yourself. £19.99 is about €25. It's absolutely daylight robbery. Fleecing us yet again. What's your opinion on Mane this season? Good show, Eddie. Thank you for bringing it back to football, mate, and thank you for reminding me to talk about something I meant to. I think Sadio Mane, I think Jurgen Klopp speaking about him was very interesting. He was saying that's, like, obviously against Atletico, we could see they were shitting themselves with Sadio. They were trying to kick him at every occasion. And I thought Sadio was the right decision to take him off at half-time, to protect himself more than anything else, because, look, they were looking to target him, getting a second yellow. But I agree with Klopp. I think Sadio Mane is starting to get back to his best, and that can only be a good thing for the team, because Sadio was the first one to admit last season that his own high standards had dropped a little bit, and that happens, that happens, particularly when you don't get much of a break and thing like that. So, yeah, I think Sadio's getting back to his best, and I'm delighted to see it. And I'm intrigued by his contract situation, what happens there and what happens with Bobby Firmino. We all expect Mohamed Salah to be given a new contract, but we can't neglect the fact that Bobby Firmino and Sadio are in a similar contractual situation right now to Mo. But yeah, Sadio Mane, I really think he is starting to get back to his best. David said, tricky game tomorrow. We have to be looking to close the gap on Chelsea. 100%. Nothing but a win, mate. Tomorrow is, I won't say acceptable, but we should be looking to get to 3 points, obviously, and move within one of Thomas Tuchel's men. Craig, will we consider bringing Sterling back? I don't think so, Gary. I think the sheer fee that it would take and the wages would probably be enough to knock that one on the head. Plus, of course, if Manchester City could move him on, they wouldn't like to necessarily move him to a rival. I'm sure they'd much rather Raheem Sterling went off to the new camp or something like that. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call that one a night. I will see you guys tomorrow for the game, hopefully. Don't forget to check out manscaped.com if you're looking for any Christmas presents or to treat somebody that you love. You can get the Performance Package 4.0 or anything else on manscaped.com, including the all-new 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner or the body wash, which features aloe vera and sea salt, with 20% off and free shipping using our discount code WFM20. And yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, 3:50 p.m. We'll be starting our coverage of the game. Don't forget, please do drop a like on the video and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And look, have a cracking weekend. Lots of love to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I look